Hello, everyone. My name is Stanley St. Rose, and today we're going to be talking about The Death of the Moth by Virginia Woolf. Now, before I go into summary analysis of this work, please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and/or comment so that the channel can continue to grow. All right. The Death of the Moth by Virginia Woolf. Very interesting work here. Um, Virginia Woolf is, well, there's a lot of things that Virginia Woolf is. Her belief about life and the meaning of life and why we exist. Um, well, there's a lot that she has to say about life and how humans are connected to nature. Keep in mind, Virginia Woolf, she did commit suicide. She had some mental um, I guess we can say there are some mental issues, um, things that she struggled with mentally. Um, her work, especially this work here, it's definitely um, connected to life and death. And so we know that she contemplated and had a lot of things to think about when it comes to life and death, especially with the moth here, with the death of the moth here. This is a woman that really thought deeply and profoundly about life and death and uh, why do we live, why do we exist. Um, Within this work specifically, she's looking at this moth. she's she's seeing it die, how its body is changing, and there's a lot of comparisons between the death of the moth and the death of human beings. I mean, humans, we toil, we're born, we fight, we struggle with life. Most humans, I mean, from birth to death, you fight to survive. I mean, it's not the same for every human. Some people are born rich and have very comfortable and luxurious lives. But other people, just like the moth, it's every day is a fight for survival. And even the rich, I mean, yes, they have money, but there's different types of struggles in life. There's um, struggles in the mind. There's mental torment. There's health concerns. There's different things, different traumas and problems that money can't solve. So Virginia Woolf here within this work, she's giving us a lot to think about, and she's using the moth, how it dies, how it fought, um, the its body, the size of its body, and ultimately what it means, and also it's a search for meaning. You're like, why why does this exist, right? Why does nature, or I guess you could say God or reality, why do you create something like the moth and then it fights to survive, but then it ends up dying anyway? And what is the meaning of all this? Is there a purpose to all this life and death and living and destruction, right? What does it come to? I mean, this essay here really forces us to think about, well, maybe we should just live in the moment. Maybe we should just enjoy the time that we have. Yes, fight for what you want. Yes, fight for your existence. Um, you know, but ultimately, we all have the same conclusion that we all die. The moth, humans, I mean, there's people that have taken morbid pathways to this. I mean, some people say like the first day that you're born is the first day that you begin to die. Because I mean, it's grim to think about it that way, but that does make sense. The first day that you're born is also the first day that it's a countdown to your death. I mean, that's grim. That's dark. So do we live for the in between? Is that it? Um, so I mean, different religions and different groups of people have different things to say about why we exist, and I mean, you can fall into existentialism, nihilism. Maybe there is some meaning, maybe there isn't. Maybe there's a purpose out there. I mean, maybe it's religion that has the answer. But when we're looking at something like The Death of the Moth here by Virginia Woolf, we're looking at a very specific creature in nature, that fights to live, that exists, and that ultimately will die. And despite all of its fight and all of its um, will to live, it has to die, just like we all do. So this essay just, it makes you think about everything around you. And the other thing to compare this to, I mean, she's also looking at other, within this work, she's looking at the birds outside, she's looking at the landscape outside, and the thing, different things, the nature outside, and how it's vibrant and living. And you have this cornucopia of things that's all connected, and there's living things and dying things and existing things, and it's all happening all at once every single day. um so there's so many ways to look at this in terms of deeper meaning here. This essay, yes, Virginia Woolf has a lot to say about life and death, but it's also, I think, it kind of leaves things open ended in terms of, you kind of have to reflect on what it all means and why we're here and how should you enjoy it. I mean, you can be hedonistic about it and make every day a party. You can be the fighter, like the moth, trying to fight for every breath and trying to exist as much as you can. But ultimately, we all know that it ends up with death. Um, you know, you can't beat death. I mean, you can try. I mean, a lot of scientists around the world, a lot of people are trying to beat death. A lot of women try to, um, you know, deceive themselves by trying to maybe hold back aging, hold back, the aging process and the growing old process. But it's kind of crazy. But even our bodies tell us every day that, well, you're getting closer towards death. As soon as you um, hit a certain period of life, you start to shrivel up and you get gray hairs everywhere, and you get slower, you get um, you're not youthful anymore, and you start to wither like a flower. And that's for both men and women. We can try to hold on to our youth and we can claw it back. We can use all types of products and hairdos and surgeries and things, but ultimately death is always knocking at the door. And um yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot to think about. It's a lot to break down. It's a lot to take in. But again, see, these are the ideas that this work brings up about our existence and why it all happens. Um, and again, I think it's even more profound, this work, when you think about Virginia Woolf and how she lived and died. Um, what does she know more about death? Why did she end it all? Why did she live? Why did she have all these profound ideas? Should we just shut up and live our lives and accept our fate? I mean, are we Sisyphus? Just keep rolling the rock until you die? Um, I mean, it's the same outcome for everybody: rich, poor, young, old. We all end up in the ground at some point. Um, so again, this is it's a philosophical. Whenever you think about death, a lot of times the conclusion is God, because religion usually has the answer for that, whether you believe it or not. Um, so yeah, there's a lot of things to take in here. Well, that's all I had to say about this work. Please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and or comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video.